today is Bill from Bill Making Stuff. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, everyone. That music is loud, isn't it? Do you
It's
have the music playing the whole time?
no, is it still playing?
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now. I can hear you.
I think it might be you might have the sound on YouTube, so you might want to turn that off.
Yep,
Otherwise, you're
I
gonna get
have.
some very weird
Yep,
feedback.
yep. There we go. I can hear myself. There we go.
Yay!
That's better. I
Okay,
should
so
know this stuff.
so let's just say hello to everyone in the chat. So hi Charlene, hi Jack Foreman, who is very excited to listen to you, Bill.
Oh, really? Don't get too
Cleo, hi
excited.
there. And a few familiar faces. So Earthman Brick, Mia Geeked, Dirty Basement Terrain. How are you doing, guys? Questboard Terrain, hi there. Loosely Collected, Dingo Blue. Oh, hi, Gazebo Mimic.
He is kind of
Yeah.
quiet. Am I too quiet? Am I?
Let me see if I can bump up your sound. Can you try talking
Bump
now?
me up. I've got a good mic on my face, so testing.
Okay, is that any better? I mean, I
Oh,
can hear you
Carl,
fine.
Carl is kind of quiet, it says.
Is it? All right.
Yeah. So
Okay,
someone
let's try
said,
that.
you don't mind if I smoke when I'm talking, right?
Go ahead.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see if that's any better. Let's see. This is there. The Pringle 2. Dungeon Matron, good to see you. Jake. You lost the pictures. Jake Thompson. Scatter Terrain. Robert Evans, good to see you again. Luan Majoli. Oh, there's a lot of people in here today. And Apprentice of Ola.
Hello,
Hi, guys.
everyone. I recognize a few of them.
So, I guess we can get started. And Bill, would you like to start by telling us about yourself? You know, how you got started into crafting and wargaming?
Big question. Uh, okay. Well, from the very beginning, like when I was like 10, should we start from there?
Yeah, good
All
idea.
right. So basically, okay. So I've always been it was Games Workshop to begin with when I was a kid, like just, I love the models, obsessed with the models, always wanted the models, but I couldn't afford them. And then skip 30 years, maybe 30. And yeah, pandemic. I've had a life of making films and stuff, and I just, stuck at home with camera equipment. I'm like, what do I want to do? I've always wanted to just make models for some reason. I just started doing it and filming it, put it on YouTube. That's about it, really. Not that interesting, but I used to work. I used to make props for independent films and things like
Really? All
that.
right.
Yeah, just like little, not films you'd ever hear of or ever know they existed, but little films. I always enjoyed weathering prop weapons and things like that. So I just started making I've always wanted to make little weird things. I don't know why. Um, yeah, and I did, and I'm here. And yeah, basically, I didn't expect it to be a job. I wanted something to do during the pandemic at home, and yeah, now it's my job.
Yeah, it kind of stuck, didn't it?
Yeah,
So your background is in filmmaking, like apart from the props, is the filming part, or
yeah, more like the DOP, like director of photography and editing. I was a jack of all trades. Really, I did everything. Directing, I directed mostly, and then I went into producing documentaries and stuff. And I always kind of helped with the art department with props and things like that. And I always kind of wanted to do the props, but I was like, I was directing a short, but I kind of just wanted to make the props. But yeah, and then that all kind of shut down during the pandemic, and here I am.
yeah, that it does explain the production quality of your videos, though,
Mm,
because
very much.
they're pretty top notch.
Yeah, I try. I did, well, they started off pretty bad, but even I learned quite a lot just from doing this because you get pretty rusty. You make a film once a year and you forget how to do it at the end of a couple of months later. But you do this every week, every 2 weeks, you kind of just get so much better, like pretty
Oh
quickly.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you learn so much.
So going back to your crafting, is there any particular material that you prefer to work in, or any particular thing that you prefer to build? I know you're doing a lot of tonks at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. This month of tonks. It's just because I'm enjoying it. Like I just whatever I want to build at the time. Like plus, yeah, I kind of want to play tonks. So it depends if I want to play it, then I'm going to just keep building for it. It makes it more interesting for me. But as far as like what sort of stuff I like to use, just basically trash. I like because I came from no money. I had no money when I was growing up, so I like the fact that there are people out there that may not have any money for the hobby's an expensive hobby, right? It's
Oh
really
yeah, no kidding.
expensive to, and I really want it to be accessible for everyone. I want everyone, and their kids. I get a lot of emails from dads and their kids or mums and their kids saying like, "We built this together. We watch your stuff," because most people have a spray bottle, or a soap bottle, or just bottles or just junk. Everyone has plastic junk everywhere. You could find it old toys, and I like the fact that it's accessible. That was my angle, for this for a crafting channel.
I mean, it is kind of strange because going back 30 years when I started, it was the information about building terrain and models out of trash and scrap was it's pretty much everywhere. I mean, you got
Yeah.
magazines about it, you got books about it, you got. I mean, even White Dwarf used to write articles
Hmm.
about that. And now it's more, you know, for some reason people don't make the connection automatically. Hey, I can build this thing. So I think it was kind of getting lost for some time over there.
Yeah, and I think it's getting lost a bit now, to be honest.
Hmm.
With the 3D printers, everyone's got 3D printers now. So people don't really want to trash bash anymore. Apart from like people like scratch bashing and people like that, and Studs and Studio and all that. We all like using trash because it's a challenge. We want to challenge ourselves. But yeah, it's mainly 3D printing now. Like I have a 3D printer. I've used it once for a video to justify having the thing, but then I've never used it since. Yeah, I have to make it interesting for myself. And like I said, it needs to be accessible. Not everyone's going to have a 3D printer. I don't know anyone in real life that has a 3D printer. I know people on here, but I kind of want to get people into the hobby. I think so. Start with what you have, and I've just been using what I have. Yeah, Bill's 3D printed beads. Someone mentioned. Yeah, that's the only thing I printed,
Just a beat.
and it took forever. Just a bead. It wasn't even
Okay.
very good. Didn't even use it. It's still sitting on my shelf. It's like a little souvenir plastic bead.
Okay, that's weird. I mean,
I've got lots of weird stuff on my shelf.
the reason that I'm holding off getting a 3D printer is because I know that I will probably end up drowning in unpainted miniatures. But yeah, I get the idea.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, that was the thing as well. That's why I kind of made bead bots because miniatures is kind of like a hard thing to scratch build. You can't really scratch build a mini. You can sculpt a mini, but I thought like there's got to be a way of like scratch building, trash bashing a mini. And I thought like bits of wire. We can make robots. Robots can look like anything.
pretty much, yeah.
Came up with bead bots. Bits of wire, bits of everyone's got beads around the house. Steal someone's necklace. You can make some kind of mini out of it. That was kind of the idea. I just wanted to trash bash a miniature to paint. And yeah, I'm kind of known for bead bots now.
So what is your from the things you have done already? What is do you have any particular favorite? Something that you're
Say
really
again,
happy
sorry.
with? From the things that you've built already, do you have a particular favorite, like something that you're
Uh,
especially proud of?
well, I mean, I've got it here actually. Well, one of them anyway. Should have put it handy, really. But like the big. Do you remember this guy?
Oh yeah.
The big kind of crab, the hermit thing. I'm quite proud of this. All my good builds I have in my editing suite here. But yeah, I'm proud of him. That was a collaboration with Miscast, I think. But well, yeah, I think I know. But yeah, I'm proud of that. And I'm quite proud of my tonks as well recently.
Yeah, those look like a
And do
lot
you
of
know
fun.
what? And do you remember this? Do you remember these guys? I kind of kit bashed a little team together. I don't know if you can see them.
I'm not sure I remember those.
Another way, but basically, I just kit bashed a little team together. I'm proud of them because the paint job's really good. I didn't used to, I never used to bother with painting too much, just rusty. But now I'm actually attempting to paint well. That's
It's
it. They're the guys.
these guys. I put them up on the screen now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guys. Yeah, I was quite proud of those. I think I'm gonna do another four pretty soon. Uh, because everything I build is another reason it keeps it interesting for me is I kind of like to build everything around a made up world. You probably know this anyway. You
Yep.
might have seen one or two of my videos. But like, I like the fact I like to keep everything canon, and then it doesn't matter if I make a little crap build, like something that's just kind of a bit of terrain that's, once you build it, you'll just throw it aside. But if it's included in the world, then it adds weight to everything else. Like some that little guy can interact with that bit of terrain in my head in this fake world. It just adds a bit of weight to everything. I suppose it's the same thing as like D&D. Like everything's connected in that world.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, look, world building and making up lore is half the fun most of the time.
Mm. It is, yeah. It's half the fun for me, and I think anything I build now has to have a story to it, which makes it quite hard. Like anything I build, my patrons and my Discord members want there to be a story. So I mean, my most recent build, the one I'm just finishing now, is terrain for tonks. About 5 pieces of terrain for tonks. I'm gonna have to come up with a story for them. It's kind of like a destroyed robot, half buried in the ground, and I'd have to think up a story for the robot just to justify that build. But you know, it makes it interesting for me, I guess.
That reminds me, I wanted to ask you about your notebooks because you've often shown your planning process where you're sketching everything out. And was that something you learned through training? Is that something that you got into as a habit? How did you start that? And
Well, I've always drawn. When I was a kid, um, I've always drawn. Like I think I drew. I was more arty when I was a kid than a model maker. I'd just paint and draw and stuff. I try and do comic books and things like that. And yeah, I mean, how did it come apart? I don't know. I guess I mean, I probably wanted to pad out an episode a bit. I probably wanted to make an episode a bit longer, and I brought out the sketchbook and did that, and people really liked it.
yeah, I mean,
And then
there
I
were
thought,
some fine illustrations.
yeah, I mean, I'm a bit of a completionist as well. I want to fill that book up, but I also won't do it when I'm off camera because then it feels like a waste of time. So I'm just going to fill it up on camera. I just want to fill the whole book up. It's just weird OCD of mine. I just need to fill every single spot on every single page, the whole book. Uh,
So is it something that you do for every build, or is it just for some things that you want to figure out or stuff like that?
I think it never used to be every build, but now every single video, I tend to sketch it now.
All right.
It's just part of the episode now. The sketch phase, the build phase, and the glamour shots. Like it's yeah, I've got a format now. Piece the camera at the beginning, a little joke at the beginning. Piece the camera, sketch, build. Piece the camera, glamour shots. I'm a
And
bit
the cat.
obsessive about that as well.
And the cat. The cat. I think the cat is a very important part
Yeah,
of your format.
I hate that cat. But I mean, that cat's there for a reason. Like it's very hard to discuss anything or make any kind of jokes if it's just me looking at a camera. I need to pretend there's someone there. He's the straight man of the jokes. Like or I'm the straight man and the cat's the whatever.
That makes so much sense because I mean I can talk normal if it's just me recording a voiceover, but if I find myself just looking at the camera and talking and
Yeah, it also lets me say some stuff I wouldn't say normally. And I can just blame it on the cat. You The cat's a horrible he's a horrible little cat. He's horrible.
Okay, so let's see. Dingo Blue is asking you, hey Bill, when are you and Dan going to swap places for a video without telling anyone?
Well, everyone thought that Dan was me for quite a while, and I took offence because my video quality is much better than Danny's, and I just kind of took offence. But everyone said, "No, it's intentional. You're doing that to throw us off." I'm like, "No, he is someone else. He's my twin brother, um, and he's just decided to copy me and make a crafting channel. 'Cause we're just twins. Twins are like that.
Okay.
Competitive."
And Dungeon Matron is saying, I envy people that can complete projects.
Say that again.
I said, and Dungeon Matron said she envies people that can complete projects.
I envy people to complete. Yeah. Well, if you have to make a video every week, then yeah, you would complete a project because you want something to show at the end of the video. So if I wasn't, I probably would have loads of projects. But then again, I'm like, if I'm building something, I've got tunnel vision. I'm only thinking about that. I can't think of anything else. Like if I start a project, I'm going to finish it. Yeah. There's two types of people, I think. People that are just all over the place, and then people that just like obsessively focus on something. which is what I do, and just ignore everyone else in my family. But someone said Dan is trying to take some of your glory for his. So yeah, I think he's already taken it. He's taken it already. He's already took my face. Well, he's the older one, but you know, but yeah, he's trying to take some of my glory. I've given him some glory. I keep giving him shout outs and sending people to his channel. I don't know why. I'm,
Yeah, because it's
I've
a
done it. I've done it
nice thing to
enough.
do.
That's yeah. Well, it keeps mum happy, doesn't it? I guess.
Yeah, I know. Keep things quiet around the dinner table when it's family time and stuff like that.
Yeah. Shut him up.
So let's see. Going back to builds and stuff. What's the largest build you have worked on so far?
Well, if you get my Instagram up, it's the Scrap Titan, the massive Titan
Okay, let's
thing.
bring it
Everyone
up.
was making Titans at the time, like the Games Workshop Titans, and I thought I'd just make my own that exists in my world. You know, he's way down, but it was quite a while ago, I think.
Let's see. Hey, there's a cat.
That was the Mad Max cat, that one for the Crafter Dome collaboration. So yeah, he's way. I think he's pretty down further than that. Oh, go up.
Up. Okay.
Up. It doesn't look that big in the picture, but I don't know, where is he? Hey, he's on there somewhere. All right, go back down.
Okay, get to look at some illustrations and photos in the meantime. Oh, this is nice.
Oh yeah, the I got that guy here actually. Yeah. Keep my little bead bots on my editing table. Can't have it too close because I don't think it's going to focus. But yeah, you've seen that guy. You can watch the video. Yeah, the Scrap Titan's on there. It's got to be on there somewhere.
Let's keep scrolling through this while we get there. Come on, these all these illustrations and stuff are
I'm going to get my
pretty awesome.
Instagram up and then tell you where he is.
Okay, and this guy? Or no, that's a trash bot.
No, it's not him. Where is it? Oh, there he is. Okay, go back up. We went past him. He's in like a four-way picture thing. Up a little bit more. A little bit more to the left. See there? Down, left, there. That's him. I should have put like a nice big picture of him, really. It's my fault.
Oh, I
That's
don't
it.
think I
Yeah,
actually
four
saw that.
images together. Yeah, I mean it's about this big. You know, it's pretty big. It's probably as big as the what is the Titan that everyone buys from Games Workshop?
The stupidly priced one.
The Forge. Yeah, it's probably bigger than that. I think
Oh, okay. Can I see that's a 20? Is that 28 millimeter miniature next to it?
probably about 32 mil. I think that thing. It's probably a bit bigger. Yeah, it's quite big, and it's got lights that light up inside. He used to be on my desk here, but he just spiders loved him. They used to love climbing in these
Really?
little tubes, and it was like a little spider farm. Like, and I don't really like having spiders everywhere, so I put him back in the workshop. And now there's loads of spiders in there. So
Okay, yeah, that's a strange problem to have. It's like, everyone needs to, keep dust off their miniatures and things like that. But keeping the
I'm not
spiders
very good at that.
out of the
Well, there's,
miniatures
there's
is
like
like,
there's a window here, like a roof light thing, and they just climb down while I'm asleep. And it was right next to it, so they just went. That's the first place they went in the little spider city. I used to call it the spider city. My wife made me move it. I'm not very good at dusting my builds.
yeah, thinking about it, it would make a pretty impressive piece of living terrain kind of thing, though.
I kind of like it. I leave them in there. I just leave them in the workshop. I haven't actually cleaned them out. They're all in there. But I did make a mask using those tubes, like for Halloween, with lights
Okay.
for the eyes. I don't know if you ever saw that. But I won't put that on my face because it's got loads of tubes on the inside, and I think that's for the spiders as well. So yeah, I won't use that.
Okay, let's see. So Cleo is saying Bill's sketchbook is both inspiring and intimidating. Definitely inspiring. I don't think it's intimidating. But let's see. Also,
No,
I
not
would totally
intimidating.
buy a deluxe printed edition with gilded edges and ribbon bookmark.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying like print. Okay, so I was gonna a couple of months ago. I was thinking about. I did scan every page, and I was gonna figure out a way of printing it. But where the spine is, and it kind of gets blurry by the edges,
Hmm.
and I need to cut every page out and scan them properly, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Not yet. I will do it at some point because I'm gonna have to cut it out and scan them all flat, and I just it's all together in a nice book. I need to complete the book first. I mean, I do I have one completed sketchbook. I think is it this one? Like this was the first one, yeah. And this is done all the way, and not every
Nice.
single one of these things. There's a lot of live streams, a lot of this stuff. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just look. If you want your sketchbook to look good, just fill every blank space with something. Put something in there. See, that was the design for that giant titan. There's a yeah in there. So I do like to just plan it out on a piece of paper. I don't plan it, but I like to just get some ideas. But yeah, this one's finished. But I'm thinking once I finish the second one, I might just do a big, like both volumes in one book, and
Ooh,
then
that would be
get it
nice.
printed somehow. A lot of people want to buy it. A lot of people. I'll probably sell like 10. It's probably the same 10 people that keep saying they want it over and over again, and I keep forgetting who says it. Oh, someone said they met me at Salute this year. He was very tall and very nice. A lot of love for the prolific sketchbooking. Well, nice to have met you, Artful Bodger.
Okay. Do you go to
I'll be going to Salute again this year, I think.
a lot of conventions, or is it just salute?
I love going to conventions. It gets me out the house and I get to meet some people. But yeah, there's not that many though, is there? I don't know what it's like for you in Malta.
Mm,
Are there any conventions? No. Do you travel to go? You know,
I would love to go up to either salute or there are a couple of conventions up in Germany and Italy, which would be interesting, but I haven't actually gone
yeah.
to any yet.
There's one in Germany I want to go to. A few of my friends told me about it. I might go there, but I try and go to as many as I can because I love it. I feel like a rock star on a convention. In like, but yeah, I mean, I want to go to Adepticon in America as well. I don't know how I'm going to go there, but I want to go there.
I mean, the
There's a
traditional,
spider just crawling across the roof there. That's what I was looking at.
yeah, I mean, the traditional way is stowing away in a box, crate of fruit or something like that, and have yourself shipped over.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to
That's
do. I
a
think
sensible plan.
I'll lose some weight, jump in a box. I'm going to see what's going to happen. I'm going to like I did travel to New Orleans recently to meet like a few like Studson Studio and Nick CC Minis and quite a few other people and Craftsman. You must know Craftsman, right?
Yeah, yeah, steady
Yeah,
crafting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man. I went to his workshop. That was amazing. That was I don't think anyone else has been there really on YouTube. That was quite a big occasion. Um, yeah, that was
So
good.
wait, you met the craftsman in person?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
well,
can't. I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
no, of course not. I mean, like
It
it's
was a secret. But yeah, lovely, lovely person and crafts mama. Yeah, made really nice food. Oh, lovely. I still think of the food now. There was someone here said, "I live in Louisiana, Bill. Good thing you aren't here now. We had massive wildfires. When I was there, I mean, it felt like I was on fire. It was so hot. It was ridiculous. You got a few people in Louisiana in your chat.
yeah, it looks that way. Okay, let's bounce back to crafting again. If you had to, like you said, you had people telling you, they just started trash bashing because they watch your videos and stuff. So if you had to get someone started from the ground up, like they want to craft something, they never did any crafting before, how would you get them started on that?
I just tell them, there's this bloke called Bill making stuff on YouTube. Just go watch his videos and then just keep as much plastic crap as you can. Honestly, I like, yeah, I'll just You could basically stick most things to most things. There's certain ways of getting things to stick, like, and
Mhm.
that was always a problem when you were a kid. You couldn't really get like a spray bottle to stick to something else. You didn't know to sand it first or baking powder and stuff like that. So yeah, just basically watch one of my videos, learn those little tricks, and then just start collecting junk. Any little plastic shape that's interesting, and just make a big rusty junk pile to start off with. A bit of terrain, easy. That's what my latest video is. Actually, it's a bit lazy. A few junk piles, but I needed them for tonks. So
So basically, just keep hoarding bits of plastic until you say, "Hey, this thing is exactly the right shape I need for this thing I was thinking
just
about doing."
learn to look at things a certain way. Like look at interesting shapes and think, what could that be, and just start adding bits to it. And just it's to train your eye to look for things, look for shapes, like real Lego. Junk
Hmm.
Lego, not real Lego. What I mean, like plastic junk Lego in your head that can go together.
That's a good point. I mean, like training yourself to look for shapes is something that I think not many people think about, but it's a good point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's when I go anywhere. Like when I go pound shop, I'm just even buying the most random thing just because it's a certain shape that I'm going to need. Um, I bought some plastic wine glasses the other day just because they look like turn them over, they look like missiles. Big nuclear missile
Okay.
warheads, and yeah, that's it. I'm having that. People was like, I bought them, and they're like, "Oh, having a party, are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna turn these into warheads when I get home."
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, hoarding basically.
okay. What we say here is usually is it's not hoarding if you're going to use it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to use all of it at some point. Actually, this video, my most recent one I'm doing now,
Hmm.
I kind of made a point of using just. I've got these little boxes under my desk where any offcuts, anything that's like an interesting shape, it's not complete. Like I've cut it, I've used half of it. I chuck it in this box, and they've just become these really interesting junk piles at the moment. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I made a point of using. I try and use everything. If I cut something off in a video, like as an offcut, I'll try and use that offcut as something in that same video. I'll add it somewhere onto a robot or, I, yeah,
Yeah,
don't like wasting anything.
I do
I got
that a
so
lot with
much, I got so much crap though in my workshop, so much
I do that with foam. So yeah, I end up with bags of funny shaped
rubble.
pieces of foam. Yeah,
Basically,
eventually
yeah.
they will end up as rubble or something
I
like
think
that.
everyone has that bag of foam that's going to be rubble at some point. But the thing is, foam all stuck together doesn't it takes forever to dry and it doesn't really work that well. It's too squishy when it's all stuck together, like as rubble, if you know what I mean. Like it
Hmm.
can work as little individual bits, but I did try and make a big pile of rubble with it, and it's just like a too squishy.
Uh,
It didn't really work.
are you talking about insulation foam or the kind of foam you put
The
on cushions and stuff?
XPS,
Yeah, all
the
right.
XPS stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I think that really depends on the density of the foam because higher density
Mm,
ones will work fine like that. If you get
yeah,
the lower density ones, then yeah, they will totally.
probably. We got crap foam here.
Okay, now I did see a very good question from Apprentice of Owl in the chat. Any tips on what to decide to keep? Storage is a bit of a problem now. Too many boxes full of crap.
Is that a tip about storing crap?
No, no, it's a question about how to decide
Oh,
what to
what to
keep.
keep? Uh, you're asking the wrong person because I mean, I keep everything. It's getting a bit. I think my workshop's upstairs. I've got a feeling we're going to fall through the floor soon. It's just there's so much up there. Um, I used to keep a lot of like shampoo bottles and things like that, and I had to just stop collecting those and spray bottles because when you got about 20 of them, yeah, you don't need any more. I
Yeah, I
guess when
mean,
you get to like 10 of something, don't collect it anymore if you're not using it.
yeah, I
But
mean, I do have a tactical stockpile of Pringles cans, which I am
mm.
definitely
Oh,
going to use at
I've
some
got one
point.
of
Yeah.
those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And cling film tubes, the nice
Oh, yeah.
cardboard tubes, the good ones that you never use. I never use them for anything unless I'm going to make like a factory with big chimney stacks, but I haven't done it yet. Someone said my tip is if you have too much, send it to Bill's PO box. No, don't. Okay, because I got a box the other day. It said Merry Crapmas on it, and it was full of coffee cups. Now look, now you think I can't go get some coffee cups. I can get some coffee. I always say, if you've got interest in junk, send it to me. Like interest in toys, old toys, anything like that. But no, this was like a box full of dirty coffee cups with little plastic lids. I'm like, look, if I can get that myself, don't bother wasting the postage cost. Don't send that to me. I do get some really good ones. Like in my latest video, I got this bag of little wooden hexagons, like tiny little
Yeah.
hexagons, but like thousands of them in a bag. I'm like, I have no idea what they are, but I used them. But they were interesting. I mean, it's a good shape. But yeah, don't send me bags of coffee cups and shampoo bottles. I don't need any more. I'm okay.
Oh, this
But
is
send me
just
interesting stuff and old toys, please.
okay. This is a good tip from Earthman Brick. Get as many of those plastic chewing gum containers as you can. They're all getting changed to cardboard.
Okay. Well, I've probably got enough of them already. I'll be all right. If I haven't even used them yet, so I'll be good.
Right. So we're saying okay, and sorry, I'm not even going to pronounce the name, but I think Mr. Mackenzie is asking, did you get the old alien and the kitchen cupboard supports I sent a few months back?
Are they the kind of like the corners, the plastic corners? If they are, I think yeah, they're in the junk box. I didn't throw those away. I didn't have to recycle those. But yeah, I got those. If that's what you mean, like black triangles, like with three corners, kind of thing. I don't know what most stuff is, so like, but if it's that, I've got that. Yeah, thank you. That was interesting. Interesting junk. I'll send you more spiders. My spiders will probably kill those spiders when they get here. They're very territorial, my spiders. So.
Okay, going back to your the planet, your world building. Do you have any long-term plans for that, or is it just literally whatever comes to mind?
Yeah, I got plans. Like I always had it in my mind. Like if I develop a world, then that's a good basis for board games and tabletop games and RPGs. And that was always in mind. Like and even comics or short films or there's an established world there that I can just dip in. And it's good. It's good. Helps keep me creative. But I do have a game in the works, like a small tabletop
Oh,
game in the
nice. Okay.
works, involving like Bead Bot robot things.
Oh, okay.
Um, I don't want to say too much because we're still working on it. But I'll probably talk about it soon. There's a game coming. We're actually working on it. We're getting the rules. We're play testing it, and it's I'll say it's from the guy who made Tonks. So yeah, me and him have been chatting back and forth. We're going to make something together. Hopefully, I haven't given it away. Hopefully, we do actually make this thing because now I've just said it. But yeah, yeah, there's something coming.
Okay, yeah, definitely
There
looking
you go.
forward to it. Should be very interesting.
Mm.
Okay, question from Earthman Brick. What is your favorite sci-fi movie of all time?
Oh, sorry, I was just reading that comment. What did you say again? Say again.
Sorry, I said Earthman Brick asked you, what is your favorite sci-fi movie of all time?
Uh, I love sci-fi is my favorite. So and novels. I love sci-fi novels. I love any hard sci-fi, but sci-fi fantasy as well. I don't know. I mean, Blade Runner's up there. I love Blade Runner. I just love the aesthetic of it. Like, but then I love the Lynch's Dune as well. And there's loads. I mean, Star Wars aren't up there. Funny enough, not for me. Um, I don't know. Blade Runner probably. I know there's going to be one that's like as soon as I finish, it'll come to mind, and I'll remember like no, that's the one. But trying to think what's on my DVD shelf. I mean, Lord of the Rings. I know it's not sci-fi, but that's one of my favorite. I can watch Lord of the Rings over and over. I love that. But Blade Runner, there's got to be something else. I can't think of it at the moment. I've watched so many films in my Alien. Yeah, I love Alien. Aliens. Yeah, sorry, Aliens is one of my favorite movies of all time. The sequel. Um, yeah, so it'd be either Aliens or Blade Runner or
Okay.
Dune. Maybe not Dune. Dune's like a guilty pleasure. Fifth Element. Yep, they're all recommending some good ones. Now, Fifth Element was one of my favorite films when I was a kid. Moon. See, look, they're all saying them now. Moon is one of my favorite films as well.
I don't think I've ever watched Moon.
Moon's really good. I recommend that.
Really?
RoboCop. See, and it's gonna be Total Recall. I got too many. Got too many favorite sci-fi films. The Thing, but that's like a horror. I consider that like a
That's kind of borderline. I think it fits.
yeah. Oh, it's an alien. I guess it's sci-fi. Yeah, yeah. Too many. One of those, all of those that they've just suggested there. They're all my favorite sci-fi films.
Oh yeah, definitely an unending list. So, do you get any inspiration out of movies or books for your builds, or is it totally a separate thing?
Books. Yeah, like I read a lot of sci-fi masterwork books. Do you know those that are kind of yellow spine?
Hmm.
I'm very lazy. I don't go and research what books to. If they're that yellow spine masterwork, sci-fi masterwork book, I'd probably pick it up. And I've read most of them, to be honest. And a lot of that stuff's pretty like mind expanding, if you know what I mean. Like very hard to get your head around some of it, and it kind of I think it helps me kind of come up with weird ideas and things. But Ghibli or Ghibli, whatever it is. But that's a big inspiration for me, especially Nausicaa. Firefly, someone just said. Firefly, or Serenity, the film was one of them as well. So I got to stop. Stop suggesting films. Stop. I like all of them. Not all of them. Um, yeah, books, films. Like I like Lovecraft. I read a lot of Lovecraft and all the tentacles and the cosmic horror. That kind of. I love cosmic horror. You know.
Yeah, the existential dread and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um, Mad Max, things like that. Oh, Mad Max is one of my favorite sci-fi films as well.
Oh yeah, especially the. I think my favorite is still the second one, Road Warrior.
Second one, yeah, that's the best one. It's definitely the best one. I like the new one though. That's really good.
Oh
But
yeah,
I love that
it sure
world.
is.
I love apocalyptic films.
All right.
Uh, yeah,
Okay. Oh, and
dystopian things.
Gazebo Mimic is asking, have your kids gotten to the age where they're interested in building with you?
Um, no, not really. My oldest is 5, and I mean, he does. He tells his friends at school sometimes that his dad makes stuff, but he does like making. He likes making books. He writes books. He staples a load
Oh,
of
all
paper
right.
together, makes books like books after books of I don't know, just weird stories like the dragon, the forest dragon or something. That was one of them. I just saw that on the side. A lot of them involving Willy Wonka and things like that. But he's very creative, but he hasn't started building yet. He likes drawing, but I'm sure he will. He loves playing games. He loves board games. I got a lot of board games here. He does like any game that he can play that I let him play. Not Space Hulk. I won't let him touch that or any of my old games. But he does love a board game. So I'm just training him to play tabletop games when he's just a bit older. So I have someone to play with. Basically, I got a little daughter. Maybe she'd be interested, but she's 2 years old. So we'll see.
It's a bit early for that. Okay, and Questboard Terrain is asking, does Bill play Call of Cthulhu?
No, I don't. I've been looking to get a copy though of that because I want to try it. You know what? I'm not even joking. When I moved to this town, I live in Worthing, which is south of England, and I
Worthing,
lived
seriously?
in London. Say again?
I used to work there for a couple of years, about 20 years ago.
What, Worthing,
Yeah,
near Brighton?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That's a weird coincidence.
it is.
Uh, yeah, there's nothing really here. Well, there's a nice pier, nice beachfront, but I live all the way at the top of town, and yeah, I don't really have any friends here, to be honest. I work home. I work at home. I don't get to meet anyone. I meet parents at school, which have, they tend to have nothing in common with me whatsoever. I might mention an odd tabletop game and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I don't really have like a group here. I'd like to have a little tabletop gaming group here, but I've only lived here a couple of years, so and I had kids, and 2 years I've been doing the channel, and that whole time is when I've been here, so I have no friends. All right, is that what you want to hear? I've got no friends.
Ah, no, but joking
This
aside,
one,
if you want to join in our weekly RPG sessions, you're more than welcome.
Oh,
Actually,
thank you very much.
for anyone who wants to join in, I'm just going to drop in a link to Dungeon Matron's Hangout.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do play online games with a few other. We have like a little RPG, but like I want it to be. I want to use my terrain. I want to be physically playing it in person with
Yeah, good point.
someone. Which is why I'm training my son to be my playmate, to basically just play my games with me. Actually, I did play a game the other day with Theo. Theo Kane. He's got like a toy collecting channel, and we went toy. I'm quite into my old toys, like vintage '80s and '90s toys.
All
So
right.
we went on a little toy hunt together, and yeah, we played a game of tonks. And my next video is going to be a battle report from that. So I did get a game. I played a game, which was made me quite happy. But
So,
yeah, anyone in Worthing that plays tabletop games, let me know. Any of you 29 people, let me know. I do get the odd comment of someone saying like, "I know where you live and we should play," and it makes creeps me out a little bit. So
it is a bit
I don't really
weird, but
respond.
yeah.
Yeah, I've gone into my local game shop and I've told them what I do. I'm just like, just to drop the odd hint, and yeah, never hear anything. I think I
That's weird.
intimidate them.
So you mentioned you go hunting for vintage toys and stuff like that. Where do you even find things like that? Because I mean, sometimes I go to charity shops or garage sales, and it's very rare that you find something of that sort.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. Charity shops now. A charity shop's only good for plastic crap that you want to cut up, which is what I do. I go there buy, pretty recent toys that
Hmm.
no one's going to care if I cut them up. But yeah, I mean, I go eBay now. I have to go eBay and look for stuff, and everyone's charging through the roof. But my
Yeah,
friend Theo Kane from Slimehouse TV, he's kind of connected with all these toy dealers, and he kind of keeps an eye out for me for certain things I want, and he lets me know. So
there
I
are
kind of get most of my stuff from him now.
now when
But
you say toy dealers, it sounds like there's an underground vintage toy market kind of
oh,
thing.
there is. Yeah, definitely. He knows what they are. Boot sales, like flea markets are pretty
Hmm.
good. If I ever manage to get to them, it's hard when you got two kids. Two kids don't really. I think my 5-year-old doesn't mind walking around looking for toys, but my daughter just no, not interested. She's only 2 years old, and you have to carry her the whole way, and I'm too busy carrying toys. I just leave her somewhere and come back get her later. But, but yeah, flea markets, or we call them car boot sales, which they're pretty good because a lot of people. Some people know what they're selling there, which is a problem. Like they go on eBay and they check and they know how much it costs. But there are still some like nice old ladies that are just getting rid of things like old VHS tapes and things like that. Like picking that stuff up. But yeah, that's another one of my interests. Another expensive interest.
Did you ever get a situation? Because I've seen some YouTubers, at least one. Basically, they get this old toy, they cut it up, and then they realize, well, shit, that was worth something, like
Mm.
good money.
I think I've done that before.
Hmm.
I had this. I think I did that before. With like some old dinosaur toys that were like a natural history museum exclusive in the '80s or something. But I found it in a charity shop and I cut them up. But I find it quite funny when that happens sometimes. I'm pretty sure one of these little monsters here on my desk is part of it. But yeah, and I had a big like a Tomy shipyard toy set thing that I used to make all those, like when I started building the town of Respite, like the
Hmm.
windmill building, all that, I used part of this toy set in every single one of those buildings. And I think that set was worth a bit. I had a few people say to me that they're after it, and I'm like, well, it's kind of split up into all these builds now. But yeah, I got a good idea of what's worth some money and not, so I won't cut anything. I mean, I'm into my little. You remember monsters in my pocket? Do you remember those little
Oh
colourful
yeah, yeah,
guys?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm obsessed with little tiny minifigures. I just wish I could stick them all over the workshop, but I did once, and they just every time I sawed something, it just all fell off the wall. So I had to put them somewhere safe. But yeah, I got a good idea of what's worth something, so I won't. I try not to cut any of that up.
Okay, let's see.
Someone said I should buy some Hex Bug Junk Bot toys. They're on sale at the moment. They're treasure trove. You know what? I tried to go into like a day toy shop. I tried to go in one the other day, but my son started moaning. I don't think he realised we were going to a toy shop. Just wanted to go, and I'm like, oh, fine, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna pop in there, have a look for some hex bug chunk bots, whatever they are. I'll have a look. You can send them to me. I've got a PO box. Send them over. I'll cut them up.
Okay, and the current small Polly Pocket toys are good and mini sized. Alright.
Well, I'm quite into Mighty Max. You remember Mighty Max toys, the little
Oh
ones
yeah,
that you'd open up? Yeah,
yeah, you are being
I bought a few of those the other day. If you see the recent collaboration video I did, I bought a few in that video. I hid the price from my wife, but yeah,
oh, okay,
I bought a few.
that bad.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I mean, Mighty Max we're talking about, that's late 80s, early 90s, I think, yeah?
Yeah. That's me. I was born '83, so all for the '80s and '90s was me.
Dungeon Matron is saying Happy Meal toys can be good crafting fodder. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I don't really. The thing is, I take my son to McDonald's once every couple of weeks as a treat, and he gets a. I'm always interested in what Happy Meal toys they have, but it's all made out of cardboard now. Like they don't do
Really?
plastic toys anymore. Yeah, they've stopped doing it. So you'd get a lot of like top trump card sets, or like a little cardboard Jenga set, or like cardboard games, or cardboard little put together a little stage with characters. It's crap. I mean, they're all crap now, really.
Just
Do I
argued that,
remember
that's
Manta
terrible.
Force? Yeah, it's rubbish. They're rubbish now. Sometimes you get Pokemon cards, which he likes, so that's quite good for him. But someone said, "Do I remember Manta Force?" Yeah, I do. But that's mainly because I watched Slime House TV. He did a big video on it, and it kind of triggered a memory in my head. But
No,
someone just said Logan's Run.
Manta Force, I don't remember. Okay, alright, so yeah, they've been absorbed by Hasbro now, like pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, and Dungeon
You
Meat.
still getting plastic stuff from Happy Meals? Where are you, Dungeon Matron? So we'll have to wait for the reply now.
I'm thinking it might be a UK thing though, because
Oh, really?
yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, we go pretty much every other week, and yeah, I looked it up online as well. They said they want to reduce how much plastic they put into waste. I'm like, it doesn't go to waste. It goes into my workshop, and then I use it.
yeah. I mean, thinking about it, crafting can be pretty environmental friendly. We're actually reducing
Yeah,
the amount of trash we're putting out.
that's the other little spin I put on it as well. Like, all this stuff would end up in a landfill or whatever. So, I keep it and make something, useful or nice out of it. Oh, they said they're in Los Angeles. All right, so America don't give a fuck about the plastic waste, so they're still doing plastic Happy Meal toys.
Yeah, you can't be trusted with plastic toys in the UK.
Yeah, yeah,
Question
yeah. That's
for
what he said there. Happy Meal toys are mini cardboard games or Pokemon cards. That's right.
okay. Oh, this is a good question from Brian Thomas. Will you ever spread out all of your respite models to make a single scene and film it for us?
I did do not all of the models. I did like a so Respite is the name of the town on this planet, right? And the planet was called Tapu. Technically, it's called Tapu, but I don't like that name. So I changed it to Gutterlands. I like the sound of Gutterlands. Like it's everything washes down to Gutterlands kind of thing. And I think that would look better on a like a game book, Gutterlands. So I changed the name of it. That's like the slang name. But for Respite, I did get the whole town of Respite together with the little guys and the rusters and all that. And yeah, there's a video. You have to go through my back catalogue. There's one video where I do get all of them in. I mean, I know what you mean. Like I got lots of monsters and titans, and I'd like to get it all in one video at some point. I think I just need space. I got no space really. Uh, you know,
How
got
large
a very small place.
how large do you figure the whole layout would be?
Say again.
If you had to lay out absolutely everything, how large do you figure that would be?
Not that much. I give away a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. Like anyone who visits me, I tend to give them one of my builds. Like the first video I did where I stole a toy from my kid. I turned a dinosaur into this weird monster. I gave that to Theo from Slime House because he came to visit me. I'm not that precious about them really. I just give them away. Well, because I got no room. But yeah, I mean, I have no room left. So I'm looking here because I've got all my builds in front of me, and that's it. That's about it now. My wife lets me have this corner of the room, and then yeah, I'm screwed after that.
I mean, that's a fair way of managing space because
Mm,
that is a subject that keeps coming up and up again every time. It's like, where do we put all the stuff we built?
yeah. I mean, if it's not really that useful and you're not that precious about it, I normally sell it on eBay. Put it on eBay, uh, or just give it away, or I cut it up and I put it into like another build. I've done that quite a few times, which is a bit people don't like seeing that, but
People don't like seeing that.
controversial. Yeah, I mean, I cut up a load of my old robots and stuck them in like a robot graveyard terrain piece, and people didn't really like that. But I'm like, yeah, I don't really like those robots. People were like, I would have bought that. I'm like, yeah, well, I can't be asked. I probably would have stuck it in a box to send it, and it would have fallen to pieces anyway. So a lot of my old builds, I didn't really know how to glue it properly. I didn't use the old sanding technique and the baking powder, so they just kind of fall apart. I look at them and they fall apart, and I have to fix them every 2 minutes. But now everything's pretty solid. I got better. I learned.
So what do you do with them? Just sanding them and then using the super glue and baking powder? No pinning or
Yeah,
stuff like
that's.
that?
I mean, I sand everything. Any of this shiny plastic. I also Craftsman taught me a trick about. I got like a like a little blowtorch thing.
Mhm.
It's just like a little flambe thing, like a.
Like the one
And
they
if
use
you
for
burn,
creme brulee or something like that,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And if you get that particularly shiny plastic, if you give it a quick glaze over with a flame, it becomes much more kind of. You could adhere stuff to it much
Oh,
easier.
that's good to know. Right.
Yeah, you kind of melt it slightly, very tiny bit of melting, just so it goes a bit shiny and it kind of it hardens again, and then it sticks to most things. I don't know why it does that, but Craftsman figured it out and he told me about it. Also, EVA foam, like to use EVA foam.
Oh yeah, it's an awesome material.
Yeah, and it's so cheap. You get it in any old little kids craft section, like for dirt cheap. If you, I talk about it in a couple of my videos. If you kind of use that, you sand a bit down, put a bit of EVA foam as like a filler between the two,
Hmm.
because EVA foam sticks really well to everything. If you put super glue underneath it, because it's porous, kind of sticks really firmly. You can stick something on top of that. So basically, you're sticking stuff to EVA foam, and it just stays. It's like a little filler, and it just yeah, any really weird plastic that you can't stick, I tend to stick a sheet of EVA foam between it.
Okay,
Hidden.
all right.
You don't know it's there. But
Oh,
try
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, it works really well.
But speaking of EVA foam, I think you can get it more cheaply from housing supplies, or not housing supplies, but basically anywhere where it's sold in large sheets. Because the smaller craft sheets by size are much more expensive.
Mm,
Because I
yeah.
mean, you could even get a yoga mat basically for cheaper than that,
Oh
and
yeah, of
that's also
course. Yeah.
more EVA.
The kids' play mats, like I got a few of those. I always pick those up in charity shops. The little jigsaw
Oh yeah.
play mats. They're pretty handy. But I mean, I'm talking about like the sheets of EVA foam, like the paper thin
Mm-hmm.
sheet. Yeah, that's if you want to stick something together, stick that as a little filler between it because it gives it a lot more surface area as well.
Right.
And it kind of just if you squeeze it down, it's kind of filling all those tiny little gaps, and it's yeah, it works really well.
Yeah.
Because I've tried to remove it after, and I just some bits I can't get apart.
So
But
is it just super glue, or do you use
I use super glue
contact
with
super
EVA.
glue? All right.
Yeah. Someone said, "How heartbreaking was it when you stopped getting toys?" I was talking about in cereal boxes. I was talking about that the other day. I used to love getting little toys. Just had a
They
little
they
clank when it came out into your bowl.
they don't do
Um,
that anymore.
no, they had like a monster in my pocket phase. I had a few of those in cereal packets when I was a kid. I used to love that.
Yeah. I mean, when I was I think I stopped taking cereal for breakfast when I was about 10 or 11, but oh,
Yeah,
I
I
really
did. And
enjoyed that
then when you
stuff.
have kids, you end up going back to it again
Yeah.
because no time. You're making them a bowl of cereal, I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll have a bowl. Then you get fat and you get your dad bod, which is, that's where I am now.
Okay, let's see. There's a question for me. What is my latest build? I think I made some wasteland terrain, which you can see on my channel, using the power of static electricity and balloons. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so Bill, are you working on anything in particular now, apart from your next video? I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I've been making tonks. I managed to make 4 tonks over the last couple of videos, and my last video I made. See, tonks you need about 5 pieces of terrain, so like a 2 inch by 4 inch piece times three, and a 2 inch by 2 inch piece. Kind of like little squares you can kind of sort of pile them up, like join them up together. So I've kind of done that, and the thing is with tonks, it's quite a nice little compact game. So I've built a little box, like a little tonk box. That's what I was doing today, actually.
Oh, right.
We made little nice little compartments, a little dice tray that goes on top, and it all folds up in this nice little box. But I didn't film any of it, and I feel really guilty because that probably would have been quite nice to have in the episode. But I just got a bit carried away, and I just did it. And
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
so, yeah, in a video, I'm just going to pull this nice box out. Like I'm just going to put the stuff in, and it's just probably going to annoy some people. But yeah,
That's
that's what I've been doing.
so. What's the size of the play area for tonks?
2 foot by 2 foot, so it's
Oh,
pretty
that's great.
small.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
and
I,
it's only one unit each, so it's it's fun. It is a fun game. Like it's kind of taken off quite a bit. I'm glad because there's not a lot of single miniature games, is there? Really?
oh no, no, not many.
And, and that's really accessible. Everyone can make one tonk. Instead of an army or a squad or whatever. But I do plan on covering some other games. I'm really into my independent game, and I got a few friends. They all seem to be in Nottingham. Like all the
All right.
the game makers. Which is all the way up north. But I've got a few friends up there, and I want to kind of spread the word on their games. There's a game called Mini Gangs that I'm going to do. It's a bit like Necromunda, but you've only got 4 gang members
Oh, all right.
and 4 versus 4. So I think I'm going to do that next. Maybe Turnip 28. That's quite big now. Turnip 28, but
Turned with it. I played a couple of games of that. It's hilarious.
yeah, I'm gonna. I may focus a video on that at some point, but
Okay,
yeah, and then any other games that people have, you want to send a book to me, I'd have a look and see if it's worth building something for. I guess I love collecting game books anyway. I've got quite a lot up there. I mean, just like the artwork on Tonks is pretty cool. That's what got my attention.
yeah, it's a pretty bold cover,
Yeah, it's nice.
and yeah, I really like that it has a small play area because again, just the same way that we don't have a lot of space for crafting, we don't have a lot of space for playing on.
Yeah, like, can you imagine playing a game of 40K? Like, what do you need? How many foot by how many foot do you need for a game?
I think it used to be 6 foot by 4 foot, but then I think at some point it became eight
Hell,
foot by six.
that's like the size of my
Who?
room. Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean, who,
know.
who has that space?
That's what I mean. It was always kind of like a rich kid's game when I was a kid, but I was just obsessed with the miniatures.
No, yeah,
I
same,
was obsessed with it.
same.
But yeah,
Okay, so
the
hi,
Doomed.
Mikey.
That's it as well. Someone just said any thoughts about the Doomed. I have the book here actually. They sent me an early copy of it.
Ooh.
Um, it looks quite interesting. I really like the miniatures by Gardens of Hecate. Am I saying it
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah,
Gardens
that's
of Hecate. I love it. Love his sculpts.
I follow them on Instagram. They do some beautiful stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's another game I'm going to look at in the future. I might make something because there's lots of monsters in there, lots of weird, like a whole page description of a monster, like with no images. So I'm thinking like that's perfect for me just to have a little flick through. Yep, I'll make that my version of that.
Yeah,
So I might do that at some point. I've got so many ideas for videos. It's ridiculous. People always ask like, what are you going to do next? I'm like, no, I never really run out of ideas. There's so many.
yeah, you'll find stuff. Okay, have you ever looked at The Wield? It's another independent skirmish game.
What's the game called?
The Wield, Weald.
Oh, the Wield. No, I've never heard of it. No, I'll have a look.
Okay, I've been meaning to put a warband for that together, but just other stuff keeps coming up, and there's also another really awesome independent game. I think it's called Lobster Pot 28.
It's called Lobster.
Lobster
Do you say
Pot. Lobster
lobster
Pot.
pot? Okay,
So
it's just stick 28 at the end of anything,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like
I mean,
a game now.
so
Lobster pot.
they're pretty much in the same kind of scale as Turnip 28. So yeah.
Yeah, like the same guy that made Tonks made this other game. This is how I met him. Was here it is. Fish. He made Fishing 28, which was it's like a fishing game, 28 millimeter. Like you want a boat and you're trying to fish as many fish as you can. Yeah, I just like it's the artwork that gets me. It's like I'm pretty obsessed with the Mork Borg book.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, I love that. I mean, I could just sit there and look at the book. I don't think I'll ever play the game. I would like to try it at some point, but mean, this is kind of what I aspire to, to do with my game. Sorry, I'll get carried away looking at it while I'm talking to you, but
Yeah, don't worry. We all get stuck on pretty pictures.
yeah. Well, it's all changed now, isn't it? It never used to be like that. Like the books used to be like. I mean, I got the old, I got the old Games Workshop rule books there, and I mean, they're nice to look at, but they weren't. They didn't really care so much about graphic design, which it's like a big passion of mine as well. I do quite into that.
I don't
I
know.
mean, that's the same way with my videos as well. Like it's the aesthetic. Try and
I
you know.
think you've got the artwork by John Blanche, Dave Gallagher, and
Mm.
Matt
Oh
Gibbons.
yeah,
So
the
but
artwork's amazing. Yeah,
but the
but
way
it's the rest of it.
how the pages
The
put
way,
together is a kind, yeah. Now you mention
yeah,
it, yeah, it is kind of
yeah, it's just kind of a bit bread and butter some of that. But yeah, the artworks. I mean, I used to sit there looking at the pictures forever. Especially the Necromunda books. Like I would sit there looking at the artwork in that at school. When I was supposed to be doing work. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just getting the books out and just reading them while I'm talking.
that's a nice library you've got there.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I'm trying all this. I mean, I bought all this back. I had this stuff when I was a kid, and then ever since I've had the channel, I've been trying to get most of this stuff back again. It's the same with toys, like you end up having
yeah,
them as a
I get
kid,
the
get
idea. I
rid
get
of
the
them,
idea.
just trying to. It's nostalgia is pretty dangerous, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
I would have bought a house by now, but
yeah. I keep most of my gaming books out in the other room, so not here. But I do have slightly more eclectic stuff.
mm. Oh yeah, I mean, I got like more eclectic books back there. Pain. Is that just a book about ways of inflicting pain? Is it?
Yeah, it's a history of torture and stuff like that.
We're learning more about Karl here, more and more.
Okay, so let's see. Have you ever seen Forbidden Psalm? Forbidden Psalm or Kill Sample Process?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
It is pretty hardcore,
Um,
but I have not heard of Kill Sample Process.
no, I mean like there was another one I got a little while ago. Space Station Zero. You heard of that one?
Mm-mm, no?
No, this is another YouTuber made this game. What's his name? I forgot his name. But yeah, it's quite cool. Quite a cool like solo. You can play that on your own. Do you ever play the tabletop games solo?
Yeah, I do. I mean, like, I do play a lot of Warhammer Fantasy Battles solo
Oh right,
and
yeah, yeah,
one-page rules and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely.
mm, yeah, yeah. I
Because
need to do that more.
again, what I did was basically I started downscale stuff because again, Warhammer Fantasy Battles. I don't know if you remember that, but it was regiments rather than individual units. So we've got like
Yeah,
a block of 50 goblins or whatever.
I'm obsessed with old hammer. I love anything like. That's why I painted like a Gretchen the other day.
Oh
I
yeah, I
really
saw that.
just want to go
I saw
back.
it on your.
I've got a bit of a collection of old hammer stuff. I just want to start painting the like that stuff I never got a chance to paint when I was a kid. I mean, I've got some good old hammer stuff that's waiting. I'm not really a good painter, but I was just quite proud of my job there. I thought I did pretty good considering. I'm trying to get that heavy metal look, and I've got midwinter minis there saying gorgeous. That's enough.
Yeah, I've got the Gretchen from that set. I have never even painted them yet. They've been sitting there for
Yeah,
about
everyone's got a paint a Gretchen. They are tiny though. I mean,
almost 30 years. Hey, where'd
look at
you?
the size of that.
Yeah,
Tiny. I've got like a what's his name? Gazgul.
Gaskul Traka,
You know,
the big orc guy
yeah,
with yeah.
I've got him. I can't wait to paint him, but I'm working my way up to. You know, I mean, I've got a whole Necromunda team of Escher that paint the old metal. I've got the whole team, so I want to paint those as well. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't really get a chance to paint stuff because I'm too busy making videos. I make videos non-stop. I had one day last week, which when I painted that Gretchen, but someone has to pay. Like I didn't see my wife for an evening, or didn't see my kids for a day. Someone has to pay for it somehow. It's not enough hours in a day.
Oh, okay. So, loosely collected is saying Space Station Zero was made by Uncle Atom from Tabletop Minions and Vince
That's
Venturello.
it. Yep. Yep. That's the channel. Tabletop Minions. I completely forgot, but yeah.
Yeah, they
And
also made
Vincent
Rain in Hell.
Ventura. Mm. Yeah.
So,
Also, Planet 28. Have you heard of Planet 28? No,
nope.
that's another good one. Oh, there's too many to talk about, but yeah. And I never get to play any of them, so I've got the books just sitting there. But,
Yeah, I know. But
I'm going to have to start my own club, I think, in
possibly, yeah.
Worthing.
Because I mean, I do
Yeah, I'd
have
have to start my own.
I'm in the same situation because I have a collection of role-playing books and I've used maybe one-fifth of them, if that.
Yeah, yeah. But like you, I mean, I just enjoy the books as well. So I mean,
I
I
love
enjoy
reading
just
them
looking at.
and looking at the pictures.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. But and it's also research because I'm going to make my own game. Well, I am making my own game, so I'd have to have read a few rule books to
It
just get a
helps.
grasp of it. It does
It
help.
helps.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to drop a link to the Discord in the chat. And if anyone wants, we're going to be looking at the community showcase in a few minutes. So if anyone wants to drop any pictures of their completed work in there, go right ahead. I still haven't got around my desk setup, so I have to look around the microphone to type.
I have to look around my camera to craft. The camera's like right here between my legs when I make my videos. It's like a top-down shot, but the monopod goes between my legs, and I have to kind of like work around it.
Yeah, I've
When I make
been.
videos, yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I mostly use my mobile to film, and it always ends up in the same position. So
I'm too much of a snob for that. I need like I've got a Black Magic Pocket Cinema. I need it to look cinematic. Just from a lifetime of doing it, I guess. But yeah, too much of a film snob. Even Miscast made a little comment about that. How he likes his cameras.
So yeah, I was going to ask you if you have any trick for getting the camera out of the way, but clearly not.
Already, I had an arm that connected to the side of my workbench and came over the top. But whenever you do any movement, it just jitters, And
Ooh.
I had to stabilize every shot. I'm just like, sod that. I'm just sticking it between my legs again, uh, which is what I did. But yeah, I mean, unless you connect a rig to your ceiling, a bit of scaffold across the top of your ceiling between the walls, and you can have the camera hanging down.
So
But
so it's totally independent of the work surface kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
makes
But
sense.
that's who can do that. I know a lot of YouTubers do that, but yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I could probably get away with it. Probably
One day I'll do
one
it.
day. Yeah, probably knock down a wall in the process, but yeah, I could probably do it. Yeah, let's see. Loosely collected, I literally have shelves of games sitting here, a game table, and nobody to play. I've been trying to form a local play group for years with no luck.
You don't live in Worthing, do you? Probably not. What's the chances? Someone said, "Hey Bill, could you do a behind the scenes video? I'm really interested on how you're shooting it." Yeah, I've got that in my back pocket for when I don't have a build ready for an episode. You know, I will do behind the scenes, but then I know I'll go too far and I go in too much depth, and it'd be a longer video than my usual video. I'll make it much more of a project than it needs to be. But yeah, I will do that at some point.
Yeah, if
I
you
don't
do
want to
it, you
give
should.
away all my tricks.
If you do it, you should do it in a David Attenborough voice.
Mm.
He,
I've
he,
got a friend who does who's an Attenborough impersonator, so I
no
could get him
way.
to narrate it. Yeah, yeah, I do have like an impersonator friend. He could do anyone. Might get him in one day. Someone said, "How did you meet Kat, and what's Kat's future?" I mean, I already told you. Kat was just okay. So I watch a lot of YouTube. I always watch you. Even now, like I'm a bit addicted to watching everyone's stuff, you know. And I noticed that people would bring their cats into their videos all the time. Like a cat would jump up on a table, or cats just appeared, and everyone's crafting videos. I'm like, I'm just going to make fun of this and make a cat myself and put it in my video. And I did, and then I just started. I found it was just so much more interesting to bounce, do bits, little comedy bits with a cat, and he just ended up staying. And it's quite funny to hate something that's doesn't have any feelings, because I can be as horrible as I like to it, and it's fine because it's a toilet tube. But people do defend the cat. I get a lot of
Seriously?
comments telling me off. Yeah, that it's cruelty, and yeah. And then I did the video about putting the little uh, cat's toilet tube kittens in a sack and throwing them in the river. Obviously, they're toilet tubes, but the more people say that, the more horrible I'm getting because it's because he's a little bastard.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just finding it weird that that people are upset about cruelty to a toilet paper tube. It's
Yeah, I mean that's funny in itself.
yeah.
Just think about what you're saying. I wouldn't really, even if I said it to a real cat, he ain't gonna understand what I'm saying. You know,
Oh,
but
that's what
yeah,
the cat wants
obviously
you
I
to think.
wouldn't.
Cleo says the cat really does feel too real.
Yeah, I mean he's got some personality. He's got some kinks and all sorts of weird. He's got like a back cat now developed. I've always kind of liked that. That kind of there's a bit of canon in the videos as well. In every episode, there's a bit of a canon that carries across, which I like
Like
as
the
well.
character development on cat.
Yeah, it's like the MCU, but the people call it the Bill CU.
Okay, oh, Martin from Palpitator is in the chat. Hi, Martin. So, yeah, if you want to talk about the wield and creepy forest stuff, Martin is the person to talk to.
Okay, so is that your game, Martin? Is it?
No, but he really adopted it.
No, okay. Let's have a look. Okay, we were going to look at this Discord stuff.
Okay, let's do that now. So, give me 1 second. Where did I put that? Oh, here you go.
It's suddenly got really dark on my camera. I've noticed because the roof light is just completely it's turned dark here. So
Okay. 1 sec. I'm just think over there. Oh, yeah, that's good. Let's move a bit. There you go. Okay,
hello,
so
zombies.
hey, zombies, how are you doing? Okay, let's see, where did I leave off? Ah, here. Okay. So, first one up is Earthman Bricks. I think this is a TT Combat Gargoyle, Steve, if I'm not mistaken.
What's that made out of?
MDF.
MDF. That's cool. It looks a bit like Blade Runner esque to me.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Tears in the rain.
Yeah, Tabletop Scenics, yeah.
Hmm.
All right. It does a great job of weathering them up. because they, the road MDF looks pretty plain.
Yeah, that's a good paint job.
Yeah, this is from Steve's
What do you call that
paintbrush.
style of paint? Is that the Blanchitsu, whatever it's called?
I wouldn't think so, but yeah, Steve does do this from Steve's paintbrush, and he does do a lot of hyper realistic stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like painting my terrain and that really try and make it as realistic as I can. But lately, like I said, I'm going for that heavy metal style. You know, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
exaggerated, uh,
Box
contrasty
art kind of
style.
thing, yeah.
Yeah,
I really like the basing on these.
yeah, it's nice. There's a spider again. God, spiders. Spider season.
They seem to like you.
Yeah, they don't know. I've got lots of builds they can hide in.
Oh, they could definitely hide into this in this one. This from Chris, Little C. Okay, so it's a little hut with a removable top. Nice.
Oh, right, and there's some. What was that? Some brain guy in there.
I have no idea what that is,
Yeah,
but it looks awesome.
yeah.
Okay, ooh, okay. These are from Quest War Terrain. Some are from,
So Call of Cthulhu
yeah, for Cool
things.
Mini or not.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
nice.
these
You know, I
this is a,
found some of those eyeballs in a shop called The Works today, actually.
yeah,
Like,
okay.
yeah, they had like little bags of eyeballs like that. I had a few bills like that in mine. That's cool.
Okay, it's a great paintwork on these. This one, no, this is seriously disturbing. Good job, kid.
Yeah. I mean, that's an achievement where you can disturb someone.
Yeah, especially with a with a plastic toy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Stefano from Chimera War Gaming. It's a work in
Oh,
progress.
someone's vaping. Someone's like me, vapor.
Okay, you can see some conversion work and some filling in there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, using green stuff stresses me out just
Really?
because I know you've got like a long time for it to cure, but it just any time limit on anything that stresses me out.
No, I use quite a lot of milliput, but
Yeah,
what I'm
me
trying
too.
what I'm trying to start to use is Scalpy now, and trying to get used to using that. And
Sculpey.
yeah, there isn't really any waiting time on
Yeah.
that because just
No, no.
pop it in the oven
Yeah,
and
I used to use Sculpey all the time.
yeah.
It does, if you don't cook it right, it does crack a bit though, but just got to be careful.
Okay, so
Sculpey's good if that's all you're going to use, you know, because you've got to bake it. Uh, is that a reception? Uh, some kind of. Have a question, need a custom option.
sorry.
Oh, that's really cool. I don't know what it is, but
It's I think it's
I
from
like
his
that.
for Earth Membrick's post-apocalyptic game, some kind of
All
reception or something.
right. Oh, you need to weather that poster in the back a bit then. Just make it a little bit dirty. Just dirty it up a little bit. It's good.
Yeah, I like how he uses the posters and stuff like that to add to the scene. They're literally just cut
Mm,
out of a catalog.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, just cut out of a magazine something.
Yeah, and they just put some weathering on them. Okay, now this is from Dirty Basement Terrain, and this is
Oh,
part
these
of
the DM screens. Yeah,
yeah, this is
yeah.
part of the DM Screen Challenge, which we've got going on till the 17th September.
I like that. It's good. That's
Okay,
something
now
like a Dark Matter Workshop would do. I think. It's a little baby heads.
okay, now I have seen a photo of this build from a bit later on when he's actually paid it, and yeah, it does get it gets worse. It gets worse.
Does it? Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, another scratch build from Earthman Brick, a dumpster.
Fallout. I have that game. Another game I've never played. I would like to try it at some point. I mean, Fallout. You know what you asked? What inspirations I had? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Fallout was a big inspiration. The Fallout games. But then I love post-apocalyptic stuff. So, but yeah, I love Fallout basically.
And I played hell out of the first two games. I didn't.
Yeah.
I played the third one, but I didn't really like that that much. But then New Vegas was amazing. Then the
Mm.
fourth one, I think the fourth one got a lot of fire, but I quite liked it.
Oh, it's still good. I mean, I still liked it, but yeah, Vegas. Are just the factions in that, and just like the dynamics going on. I mean, I like that story, and the world was really good in that.
Hmm. So yeah, anyway, Steve, nice dumpster.
That's a
And
nice dumpster.
there's another bit of that, stuff cut from a magazine and glued on and
Mm.
withered up. Same here.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really thought to do that. That's a good little technique, really.
Yeah, it has a lot of Earthman Brick does a lot of stuff like this with hazard signs and things like that.
Mm.
Okay, okay. Again from Earthman Brick, Mega Dev Dread, or as I call him, Captain Crunch.
Oh, nice. It's like a very orky jaw.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Now, is that for anything in particular, or just because they wanted to build some giant
I,
monster robot thing?
he's building pretty much building a scratch built orc army for 40k. So I think this is one of the
Mm.
you know
Yeah,
the.
it's good. It's up right up my street.
I'm surprised I don't see any cable ties here though. It's like is there because most of his builds have cable ties in them in some way or other.
Cables.
Cable ties.
Mm.
Okay, this one's from Meredith from Scattered Terrain.
Oh, I know Meredith.
Yeah.
She's
So she's making bead bots here.
Bead Bots. TM trademark. My lawyers will be round. You still nice. I mean, I don't enjoy building bead bots anymore. I find it really fiddly, but I mean, look, they look cool. They're good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They're definitely very robotic, alien-looking kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember she says, "Yay, Bill remembers me." He goes, everyone. No, I don't really, but I do remember. I mean, you got a channel as well, right? Are you still doing your channel,
Yeah, it's
Meredith?
Scattered Terrain.
Mm.
These are lovely. Oh, okay. So another build-making stuff.
It's,
Early days throwback. The deodorant stick challenge. Necrobotanist laboratory.
oh, the Dio stick, yeah. Well, that's an old Warhammer throwback. It's an old White Wolf challenge, wasn't
Mm-hmm.
it? The
Go.
Dio stick. I did do a video on it though, but yeah, I still, that's another thing. I got like 100 of his Dio sticks, and they're so hard. They're so hard to clean out as well. Like just to get all out those screw bits, really hard to get to get clean. Down with health issues. Back soon. Okay, get well soon, Meredith. There's a lot of Dio sticks in that build.
Oh yeah. Ooh, there's more. The one thing I was surprised with was how many parts come out of a spray bottle.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did a whole video about just how many parts you can get out of a spray. I think I did a challenge with Gert, Gert, I can't say his name, but
From
like
Dark Matter Workshop.
Dark
Yeah.
Dark Matter Workshop. Yeah, and Miniature Hobbyist. We had like a freeway challenge, like what we can build with just one spray bottle, and I could, could do quite a lot. That's cool. Who built this one?
This is from Meredith from Scattered Terrain.
Oh, Meredith. Yeah, because it looks like a build you did previously. I remember, yeah, you like a lot of your vines and stuff like that. It was nice. Sometimes I'm envious of, everyone else who doesn't have they can just make things and not have to film it. Like
Yeah, I know, right?
I wish I could just make stuff and just not have to worry about lighting it and getting the sound and making music and editing it. And just feel I just
You know,
love to have like a couple of months.
not working with a camera between your feet. It's
Hmm. Yeah, I know that'd be great.
okay.
That looks
This
cool.
one,
I did something very similar to this in my latest video.
okay.
Bit
This one's
smaller, but
from
that's
Quasifil, Gazebo Mimic. He also does a lot of toy bashes and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah.
this is looking really good.
Hmm.
You know, I like this kind of pieces which look like they have a story behind them. Just looking at the piece.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I try and aim for. I need more foliage in my builds, to be honest. I kind of, some reason I made it like a canon that there wasn't really much foliage in this planet, but there is. I
It's
need
more
to
like a
just start adding
desert.
it.
You do a lot of stuff that looks like
Well,
arid desert.
there's a desert area, but there's other areas. I want to expand on it at some point.
I mean, like most of your builds for Respite give me kind of like something you would see in a
Sandy,
western mostly,
yeah,
like in a western movie.
yeah, pretty much Mad Max, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
But
So
I do plan to move out of that area at some point.
all right. Okay, so this
Yeah,
one's from Questboard Terrain, another work in progress dungeon master screen. Okay, it's looking interesting. Lots of textures in there.
yeah. Maybe I need to make a DM screen now. You do anything. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it's like animal skin. I just realized.
It seems some kind of textured leather or plastic or fabric or whatever, but the effect is really good. And I like that it's
Yeah.
got multiple layers in there
Hmm.
because we've got another picture under under the skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just good stuff. Awesome working. So yeah, in a couple of weeks we'll see the completed piece.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay, so more from Earthman Brick. Okay, another withered up MDF kit.
So I think if I wasn't making videos where I trash bash, I think I probably would take a few kits and do some stuff to them. But I'm not allowed now. I've set my own rules. But they're fun to put together.
Yeah, what I'm what I'm planning to do next is bought some toy cars from the pawn store, the Euro store here, I guess. So I'm just going to grunge them up to make them look like desert thing. It's for a role-playing game called Wasted World. So that's
Hmm.
probably what I'm going to do next is just weathering up toy cars.
Yeah. It's fun.
Okay, so let's see. An Orc Robos Quick Chompa. A lot of parts in there.
Yeah. Find it hard to make it out. It's pixel. Oh, there we go. It rendered. Cool. I'm not very good with constructive feedback, as you may have noticed, but
It's okay.
I
We've
like it.
been mostly just looking at cool stuff here, so
I like the testicles. It's got some big old testicles in between there. I always like to chuck a few testicles in there sometimes.
yeah, they're useful things to have. Okay.
Okay. So, Carl, I'm gonna have to go now, if that's okay. I
Of
have to
course.
jump off. Is that okay?
No worries, mate.
But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I got to let the wife in the room now, so it's not fair kicking her out all evening. But yeah, thank you for having me. Hope it
Hey, it's been a
wasn't.
pleasure.
All right, and bye everyone.
Okay, I hope to speak to you again soon and have a great week.
Okay, see you there. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so let's see. In the meantime, let's finish going through these posts over here. One sec. Okay, okay. So here we've got the whole lot of chompas from Steve. I think, Steve, how far are you with this army? Because I think you probably got enough to make a few thousand points worth. I think at this point. And more importantly, do you have a group shot of everything with the stuff in here? Okay, next up is Black Boss, or Loosely Collected. Some more time terrain that he's been building for a while now, and it's looking awesome. If I remember correctly, these are corks, and then sorry, wine corks, and then he built up the rest of the structure on top. And the corks work surprisingly well. I would never have thought of using those. Okay, lovely texture there too. Okay, this one's for Martin. Let's see what new her has inflicted upon the world. Oh, nice. This is seriously some Call of Cthulhu level stuff. The crown especially, that's really interesting. So Martin, is this some kind of boss kind of thingy, or does it just happen to be holding a crown? Beautiful stuff. And 0xz. Oh, okay, cardboard house. Super useful. I like the ground texture you got on them. So definitely very, very useful terrain. This little ruin here looks real good. Oh my god, Lisa. Tooth Fairy. She's not looking too healthy though. Okay, so Martin is saying it was quest board ideas to hold a crown. I was searching for something fitting for weeks. Oh, so yeah, great advice. Okay, and Loosely Collected is saying it's meant to be a set of ruined aqueduct tiles that fit between a set of city tiles I've made. And I'll use them for Mordheim, Frostgrave, D&D, and the Ending of the Nature. Yeah. I mean, I really like the idea of terrain like this, because you've got, apart from elevation, you've got multiple ways of traversing it, and it causes different obstacles and forces you to move in different ways. So anything with this kind of playability is going to be really good. Okay. Oh, this is pretty. And this is the Dungeon Master screen that Dungeon Matron is working on. It's looking beautiful. Okay, so yeah, I really can't wait to see how this goes. Okay, boom, boom. There we go. So everyone, thanks for joining us, and hope you had a great time. And yeah, so if you're planning to join us for the Dungeon Master screen build, that's open till the 27th. So, sorry, it's open for the 17th September, and you can find all the details in the Discord. So yeah, jump in. We'll have a stream and watch all the entries and have a good talk about it and see how that goes. In the meantime, hope you have a great week, everybody, and thanks again for joining us. Bye.